I'm Jesse.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to the f***ing Elephant Show. Yo, Chris, what's going on, man? How are you this morning?
Amazing. I'm a little out of my element. I'm in my bedroom, but I am here. How you doing? How you doing this morning over there in your time?
Oh man, good. Got up early this morning, per the usual. Went to the gym, and dude, gosh dang it, just having a fantastic day. I've had a couple of phone calls myself this morning.
Nice.
Did some mindset stuff, read my book, got a lot done today. I'm pretty excited to be here, man. So pretty awesome. Dude, how about that freaking intro? Wasn't that freaking amazing? Oh my gosh.
I think that was phenomenal.
That was super
and guys,
dope.
if you guys like that, intro, please let us know, or something that you think we probably should change, or yeah, just let us know. We definitely love feedback, criticism, all that good stuff. Yeah. And guys, this is bothering me already. Facebook users, please grant StreamYard access to make your name visible. Appreciate it.
We would love to interact with you. So for those of you guys who haven't been here regularly, or maybe aren't sure what Chris is talking about, if you guys are watching this, probably like in the creative group, or maybe even in some of these other groups, I know we're streaming in some of the local Alaska groups up here as well. And if you're watching it live, there's a link in the description just above the video where it tells you, hey, click this link and grant StreamYard access to share your name or something like that. Carlin, yes, we can see you. Thank you. But this is how you guys show up on our end. So we love to interact with you. We love to know who we're talking about. You guys can probably see it from your end, but until you click that link, we can't see who we're interacting with. So appreciate you guys. But thank you nonetheless. Thank you very much for the kind words, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate you guys. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Angel, just to let you know, the StreamYard link is always, I believe it's always a new one every single time. I can verify that with the powers to be, but I can definitely verify that, see if it's the same link or is it a new link every week. So I'll verify that and let you know. Thanks for bringing that.
I think it's a different link. I think it's a different link. Yeah. I think. So everyone's asking what link. If I could share my screen, I would. So if you're watching, everybody who's asking this is watching on Facebook and not YouTube. If you guys are where you guys are watching it live, just in the description, just above the video, there's a link, and it'll say grant StreamYard access to share your information or share your name or something like that.
Let me see if I can put it in here. The link for you guys to get in. Let's see. So I just put it in the side chat for those that can see it. I'm not for sure. I went to YouTube. I see it with the StreamYard. And
it's on the tubes of the U variety.
And also, let me just see if I can do Facebook for you guys as well. So you do have access to it moving forward. There you go. So I just put it in all platforms. Again, we're streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, StreamYard. And guys, so excited to be here. So excited.
Dude, this is awesome. I freaking love this. We got some amazing stuff going on. Chris, how was your week, dude?
It was overwhelmingly great. Like it was like literally every single day. I'm always grateful, right, to be alive and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, very humble. There's a lot of opportunities that risen within our company, just within a lot of different aspects of real estate, and it's just great. Every day you just face with a new obstacle, challenge, whatever that specifically may be, and you just take it by the horns and just go. You just go. You don't run away from it.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that. You said overwhelmingly great. There's a quote from Ed Milet. I'm pretty sure it was Ed Milet. I'm pretty sure he said it, but he said that he is always blissfully dissatisfied.
Yeah.
So it just made me think. I was like, man, yeah, no, it's synonymous, right? Same thing. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. It's better to be overwhelmed than underwhelmed. Dude, we got some amazing stuff going on. I don't know. Dude, can we talk about that New York deal we're working on, or should we hold off on that? We don't have to dive too deep into it. I thought it was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, shoot for it.
Yeah, no, we got some really cool stuff going on, guys. This is all from just networking, and you never know where opportunities are going to provide themselves. And so we're always, like we said, we're very intentional. If you guys follow Chris and I, if you guys are following our show, or if you're brand new, that's our big I word. If nothing else that you take from the show, just be freaking intentional in anything that you do. You know, I don't know what you guys do in your W-2s, your business, your hobbies, whatever that looks like. Just be super, super intentional with it. Just get to the point where you are so intentional that regardless of what anybody is thinking about you, what anybody says about you, if you're you shouldn't be worried about anybody else anyway. The only person you should be worried about is yourself. And if you're competing with yourself, but get to a point to where regardless of what anybody thinks, you are just so freaking undeniable. Regardless, if anybody likes you, if they don't like you, if they love what you're doing, whatever, get to a point to where no matter what, you can't deny. You know, whether you love Michael Jordan, whether you hate it in person, whether you played it against him or whatever, you can't deny that he was the greatest. He was the greatest, right? He was the GOAT. So get to a point where you're just being absolutely intentional. When you guys come in here, treat these meetings like when you guys post in either on YouTube or on Facebook. We love to see you guys. We're happy to have you guys here. We love the positive energy. We love the comments, but also be intentional with networking. You know, come in here and maybe come into these meetings with an intention of networking with 10 other people this week. I'm going to find 10 people in this Zoom. I'm going to reach out to them individually, and I'm going to find a time where I can personally have a one-on-one conversation with them next week. And I want to learn about them. I want to learn about their business. I want to learn what the bottlenecks are, what's going good, what's going great, and how can I come in and provide value. Lead with value. When you're networking, networking one-on-one, guys, be interested, not interesting.
Absolutely.
So the reason I preface with all of this, guys, is because we got an opportunity in New York, and we're going to be taking possession of it February 15th, I think.
Yeah.
Right, Chris? If I got the date right. This is a super, super neat property. This is well over $10 million. It's a creative thing, and this is going to be kind of unique. I've never done anything in this realm. I mean, we were kind of brainstorming on things over the last week, and especially yesterday, with what we're going to do with it. And you know, I mean, they got people that are like, just for example, and I didn't really, this is all kind of new to me specifically, but you got people that'll book I guess book times or showings or whatever. I don't know, with this property where you have influencers will come and they'll shoot videos, and you know, they'll pay $25,000 to be there for 5 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, wow, this one's going to be really, really unique. This is going to be awesome. So we're hoping that our first big event is going to be sometime in May, and we're going to do like a big mastermind thing. It's going to be a big blowout. I mean, this thing's like, I don't know off the top of my head, like, I don't know, 15,000 square feet, something like that. It's got like 1 million bedrooms, even more bathrooms. It's got like 4 swimming pools. Like, this thing is nuts, man. This is super cool.
It's amazing. So,
yeah. And all of this came about simply just because Chris and I were intentional with our networking, the people that we wanted to work with and do deals with and make money with. I mean, you never know where those opportunities are going to present themselves, guys. So when you guys come into, you know, when you guys are here on our show, whether you're on Pace's show, other Elephant Leader shows, go in there with some intention. Write it down on paper. I've always got my pen. Anytime I got the camera on, dude, I've always got a pen and paper. Chris is a quill and ink kind of guy. He literally writes everything down. Thank goodness, because I can't tell you how many times we've had to go back and reference your notes for things, conversations that were had, meetings we had with people. Oh my gosh, amazing. But go in there and write down, what do I need? What do I want from this show? Like, what's going to be my takeaway? How am I going to be intentional with my time here? You know, we don't want to turn this into a thing where you guys come in and consume content. Well, you guys take an action. Be here, come in here and hang out with us, and let's do some things together. Let's be intentional here. So yeah, we got some really cool things going on. And that was kind of a highlight of the week. That property will be one of them for sure. So I think we're going to end up flying down. This will be the first time I've ever left Alaska, Chris. I've never seen planes or cars or anything like that, man. Anytime I got to go get my meat, I either, kill the moose out in my front yard, or I got to load up my family on the dog sled and go to the bigger igloo with the meat there. But I'm pretty excited for this, man. I think this will be awesome. Never seen a swimming pool in real life. So I almost feel like the Beverly Hillbillies in kind of way. You ever seen that movie, Chris?
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They get into Los Angeles and they get flipped to the bird, dude. And he's like, well, Jethro, what do you think that guy's pointing at? Well, I reckon that's how they say howdy in California. Speaking of which, not to like deviate too much, but that property that New York property, you probably saw it. I mean, it's got about 1 million different staircases. This thing has an elevator in it, but there's a staircase on each side coming down, and I instantly thought of the Beverly Hillbillies when he has Jethro, right? Because Jethro is like the educated one. And he's like, well, why do you suppose they got 2 sets of stairs? Oh, well, that's easy. One's for going up, the other's for going down.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. If you guys see just the endless opportunity for this specific property, just one property, it's just surreal. Just because
you got celebrities and stuff that are paying a couple $100,000 a month, just to stay there.
Yeah.
It's like,
so we're super excited about it. There's definitely more to come on that. And, we can't wait to, give you guys the full overall picture and overview exactly what that looks like. We're pretty stoked about it. And, to be continued. It's going to be very, very, I kind of want to tell them more, but I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. Let's we'll definitely talk more about it as we come. This will be kind of cool. I think we're going to end up turning it into like a case study as well and show you guys, how we're doing things, and just going to kind of give everybody a peek behind the curtain when it comes to some more of these luxury type properties and creative finance and all that kind of stuff. It's like Alaska here. Isn't Michigan the one where they're like, hey, where are you from in Michigan? Isn't like the hand one? Or is that? No, that is Michigan, isn't it?
Yes. To answer this question, 100%, Luke. There's going to be all kind of influencers there. All kinds. So stay tuned for that. I just looked at the comments on my personal phone. I look like Michael, you have to grant StreamYard. So no, we cannot see it. And again, guys, we are streaming live. We are streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, and StreamYard. I will verify from Angel's initial question earlier, just to verify if it's going to be the same link every single week. And I'll probably make a post within the Creative Finance group and also our personal pages, just to make sure everyone's fully aware. But we will get you that information. Again, thank you guys for being here. It's going to be almost like all things, not just creative finance, but all things real estate, understanding transactions, and more so different parts of the transactions, again, going into the nitty gritty. So if you guys do got questions along the way, please throw them in the chat and we will answer them as we see them. Yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to that, dude. You know what, real quick, before we get started, I got one more thing I want to share with you. It was just kind of a neat epiphany that I had yesterday. And so, as you know, we got that one property we're buying in Florida on Sub2 for like 10 grand. Mm-hmm. And coincidentally enough, the seller, guys, lives in Alaska. Like, what? There's like 2 people that live here, and one of them is me, and the other guy is the guy who owns the property in Florida. Like, craziest thing, right? So this guy lives in Anchorage, which is about 40 minutes south of me. So I live in a town called Wasilla, about 40 minutes north of Anchorage. And at the time that I called him over the Christmas break, I think, and he was down in like Washington, Chris. He was visiting. He's got family and stuff down there, and then he's got other family in Idaho, coincidentally enough. And then he ended up getting it back up to Alaska, I think, a day or 2 ago. So he texted me like, "Hey Jesse, I just flew back into Anchorage. Let me know what your schedule looked like. Let's meet up and grab a cup of coffee, or let's go grab a burger or something." And so we met up. He drove out to Wasilla, and we met up at Red Robin yesterday, and sat and had a cherry Coke and a basket of fries. And I brought my 3-year-old son Cole with me. Now, as a father yourself, you can really one of the coolest things about doing what we're doing is you get to teach and our kids and our family about these types of things. And it's neat to see their shift in mindset and you know, how they're taking and processing that information. And as you know, I've before I jumped into real estate full time, I was in the Air Force, and a lot of times when I had to run to work, I'd take my kids with me. They'd love to, you know, go look at planes and stuff when we had to go on base, and so they enjoyed that aspect of it. But they associated that with work, right? Like that was kind of what Dad did. And so when I had to go on base and I'd run to the office and I had to shoot out an email or, you know, whatever it was, you know, the kids kind of jumped in the office chairs and kind of, you know, did their thing and span around and played and all that kind of stuff. And then we'd drive back home. And it was interesting. It was really cool because my son, out of the last couple of years that I've been doing this in real estate, he had this epiphany. Maybe he's 3. So I guess maybe he didn't process it the same way, because I think he was just shy of 1 when I first started getting into this. But as we left Red Robin, we closed the deal, left Red Robin, pulled back in the garage, and when we're walking from the garage into the house, he stops and he kind of has his head down a little bit, and he's like, I'm like, what's wrong, Cole? And he's like, Dad, he's like, I thought we were going to a business, like a business meeting. And I'm like, Cole, we did. That's what we do now.
Right.
Like Dad doesn't work for the Air Force. Dad doesn't have, you know, that's not what meetings look like for us anymore.
Right.
We get to go have fun, and that's business now. If we didn't have 10 feet of freaking snow outside, we would have been on the golf course yesterday. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of neat, man. It's neat sharing these things with our kids and involving them. Absolutely. And, you know, getting them to they're able to kind of see these different perspectives and think about how relationships are built and how friendships are built and how servitude is predicated, and it's been just a super neat experience, man, as a father. So I just kind of wanted to share that. It was neat to see my son's epiphany of, oh, wait a minute, this is it. This is what we do. This is how we put food on the table, and this is how we, you know, do things. It was just super neat. It was kind of special to me. So just wanted to share that with you guys. It was awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Julie, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Pansy, I see you in the comments. I see a lot of people are connecting, but we cannot see your name. We can't see. It says Facebook user. I'm glad you guys are networking, getting to know each other, trying to JV. That's phenomenal. But we will love to spotlight you and just get you on the screen, and more so specifically to understand exactly what you're looking for and connect the dots. But absolutely. Guys, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. You good, man?
No, I was just going to say, one of the things we love doing on here is spotting and highlighting people. If you guys have stuff that you need, like that's what Chris and I love. We want to help you in any way that we can. Although we got things and stuff that we're going to go through and we're going to talk about and highlight and dig deeper into. If you guys have stuff that you need, if you guys are like, hey, I need a closer. Hey, I need somebody to come in and underwrite. Let us showcase you. Let us put you up here. Let us highlight you. Let us spotlight you. Let us help you in whatever that looks like. Hopefully, maybe somebody will see it and they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I can do this. This is where I can come in and I can serve and I can help people. I can collaborate, make money, and provide value. So, Pansy, what's going on? Thank you for being here.
I love this, Carlin. Congratulations. I love that.
Carlin has some amazing things going on, dude. She's she's in the middle of buying a property right now, sub 2, and she's working this is in New Mexico, and she's working another one in Arizona. Sub 2. So this is just awesome, man. What can happen when you come together? And there's a book, actually, real quick. It's called Tribe of Millionaires. If you guys have not read that book, oh my gosh, please get in there and read it. It just hammers down on the fact that it is just so stinking important to be intentional with the people that you're surrounding yourself with and creating those millionaire habits.
Absolutely.
There's one thing I've learned over the last couple of years is you have to become a millionaire in your freaking mind long before that shit manifests itself on paper. I think a lot of people are under the perspective that they have to get in here and they just have to, work a couple hours here, work a couple hours there, Once they get a little more momentum, then they can commit a little bit more. And then, guys, that's not how it works. If you had the capability of like in an instant, in a snap of a finger, you could instantly have a millionaire mindset and learn what to do and what not to do and how to be intentional with your time and structure and time block and just these different concepts and how to build your business and who to bring into your business. You would just see your business just skyrocket. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's very important to make sure you guys are intentional with the people that you're surrounding yourself with and the conversations you guys are having, because that's where that mindset is going to start to change. And that's what you need, right? Think of your mind like a rubber band. Every time you try something new, you fail, you get more insight, you learn something new, your mind is expanding. And just like a rubber band, it's never going to go back to its original form. And that's what people are talking about when they say level up, right? You're getting there, you're learning something new, you're leveling up. And what's really cool about leveling up, guys, is it's also the reason why you see people who make millions of dollars, they can lose it and then instantly get it right back.
Yep.
Because they have failed and they have leveled up and learned, oh, I don't do that. So they get it right back. And once you're at this level, like, you'll never go down that level. If you learn how to make 6 figures a year in real estate, if that's what you're trying to do right now, whether that's five, I know five, this doesn't equivalent to 6 figures, but if you're trying to replace your income of $5,000 a month or make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $100,000 a month, once you develop that skill and learn how to do that, guess what? If you learn how to make 20 grand a month, guys, that's your new standard for the rest of your life. Yep. You will never be in a position where you're only making 5 grand a month, because you've developed that skill and know what to do and what not to do. So just like that rubber band, your mind's like, oh, this is my new normal. 20 grand a month, that's my new normal. Or 50 grand a month, that's my new norm. So anyway, not to go off on a tangent, but that's what that book is really all about. It's super insightful. Get yourself a Calendly account and debt your hours. Keep a schedule like that, and you'll be more intentional with your time. 100%. That's what Chris and I did actually at the beginning of I guess it was last year.
Yep.
That's exactly what we did. That's how we started getting a lot of traction and stuff in our business, because we did exactly what Nicole is outlining right now. We created a Calendly account, something that we could stay consistent with. We blocked out like 5 or 6 hours every single day, Chris.
Yep.
I mean, we were doing 30 to 40 hours a week
right.
in just one-on-ones. That didn't include anything else in our business, calling sellers and on everything else, man. So yeah, do exactly what Nicole is talking about. You guys are wanting to do some big things this year. We're still early in the year. I mean, we're only 13 days, 14 days into the new year. So we're about halfway into, not the new year, but into January. I do that. Create a Calendly account and time block hours or minutes or whatever that looks like for you guys. You can stay consistent. Maybe that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe that's only 30 minutes Monday through Friday. Maybe that's for an hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Whatever that looks like for you guys, just do it and stay consistent with it. Be intentional with that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Kev, I just happened to see this comment specifically. I may have to cancel my first contract. Not looking at it as a negative. I'm seeing the positive of taking a step. I've never done this before. One step closer to getting a deal done. I love that. Jesse and I really have the mindset, like literally every no is you're closer to a yes. You're going to receive 1,000 no's before you get that one yes that really could be either life-changing or closer to your next deal or opportunity. You just never know. But I love that mindset. Kevin's an amazing individual. Before you cancel that, let's hop on a call and see exactly what that looks like. Maybe we can restructure it a little bit. I'm not for sure if it's a cash creative, but maybe we can restructure it. I'm not for sure what that looks like, but I see you guys are squatting up in the comments. Maybe you may have a buyer in the comments. I'm not for sure. I did see somebody said they're in North Carolina. It says Facebook user. I don't know who you are. If you put, it just says Facebook user, guys. We really want to spotlight you so we can get your deal or whatever you're working on across the finish line, but we have to know whom we're speaking to. So let's see, North Carolina. So yeah, no, 100% Jesse. I mean, cut you off or anything, but I think that
Oh no,
what
you
you
didn't.
just said
No,
was 100% correct. And Kevin's saying it's North Carolina. That's in North Carolina. Yeah, if it's something creative or anything like that, Kevin, let's just hop on the phone to see what the next steps look like. Jesse and I could definitely walk you through that, and maybe we personally may buy it. It all depends specifically what the numbers or margins look like and what kind of asset it is. So yeah, absolutely. Only have 3 days on the due diligence period. Okay, no worries. That's a great thing. That's one of our topics today is transaction coordinating. So initially we'll go into like due diligence period and what that specifically looks like, and we can always do an addendum in place or amendment for the specific original contract and extend it. So we just need a little bit more details before proceeding and all that good stuff to see exactly what that looks like. Julie, who can give me tips on social media? This is Jesse all day. This is Mr. Stanton's department. He loves the social media aspect of things. He definitely he's great at what he does. He got that radio voice, as all you guys know, but the late night radio voice, I should say. But more so specifically, Julie, you got to reach out to Mr. Stanton. He's your guy for that one.
Julie, we can definitely hop on a call. But just some quick tips. And to be clear, guys, I hate social media. Okay, believe it or not, I hate it. It's time consuming. I just hate the game of social media, to be quite frank with you guys. But it's also kind of one of those things where it's a double-edged sword, right? It's a necessary evil. Like, you have to have it. And I've gotten a lot of deals simply just because of my content on social media. Not that it's like super extravagant or anything, but the big thing when we're talking about tips is consistency.
Yep.
You got to be consistent with it. And what like what Chris and I do, we got long form content, right? We come in here and we've got our elephant show that we do every single Saturday. And then guess what? If that runs an hour, if that runs 2 hours or whatever that looks like, now I've got 2 hours of content. And I'm just all I have to do is chop it up into a 60-second clip. And so if you're doing long form content, if you can commit to doing, committing an hour a week or 2 hours, whatever that looks like, even if it's only 30 minutes, if you can chop that up into enough to where you can post a video a day, a reel a day, every other day. I mean, I would highly advise, just start somewhere, just start throwing a bunch of stuff out. And it's interesting when it comes to content creation. I remember all the slicing and dicing. Cool, Julie. So this is actually perfect because I'm getting to the point now where I'm not going to lie to you. Like, content creation is very time consuming. I have to designate an hour every single day, just to chop up like 2 60-second clips. Like, I try to post. I'm trying to post 2 or 3 times a day. Hopefully I'm trying to get up to four times a day, but that's just so time consuming. So for me, I'm personally let me show you guys something. Chris, can I go back and play our intro real quick? I just want to show something when it comes to content creation. Okay. I'm going to play mine and Chris's intro. For those of you guys who missed it, let me play this real quick for you guys. So you guys can see, since we're talking about content creation real quick, let me play this. Hey, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to the f***ing Elephant Show. Dang, dude, that was awesome. I love watching that. I could almost watch that as I'm going to the gym, dude. I freaking love that. But the reason that I wanted to show that real quick was because it just shows as an example. Like, in there, you couldn't hear anything that Chris and I were saying, right? Like, there necessarily wasn't any value or anything like that, but just how it was pieced together shows that there's a little bit of credibility now there, right? It's like, oh, okay, it's a little more official. It's a little more personable. We know who they are in the beginning. And guess what? I didn't do anything with that. I didn't even create that entire intro. A gentleman named Nick Valet created that. And
Amazing
so when it
individual.
comes to slicing and dicing, one of the big things that Chris and I really, really hammer down on is if you don't know how to do it, or if it's not a good use of your time, like, don't do it.
Yep.
There's a book called Who Not How. We've talked about it a handful of times, and you don't have to be the one to know how to do everything. You don't need to know how a transaction goes from A to Z. You don't need to know how to negotiate something. You don't need to know how to underwrite something. You don't need to know how to slice and dice. The question is, who knows how to do it, and how can we work together? So if there's anybody else, if you guys have content or things that you're wanting to do, Nick Valet, Nickvlay. I think it's AY, not EWA, right? Let me double check real quick. I want to make sure I got his spelling right. Yeah, it's Nick Nick Valet, VLAY. Who did our intro for us, and he did an amazing freaking job. And if you guys, he does content. That's kind of one of his businesses, where if you guys need content, if you just don't have the time or don't know how or don't want to do it, guys, I would go work with Nick. Go bring somebody else in your business to just work all the social media stuff. I don't know the entirety of his business, but maybe it actually might be a good idea to kind of have him come in on our show one of these days, and we can talk about branding and content creation and slicing and dicing, what works and what doesn't work, and algorithms and all that kind of fun stuff. Would you guys get value out of that? Should we do that? Should we have one day that's kind of designated? Because everybody, what's neat about this is the everybody here who's watching us, presumably for the most part, I would imagine most people are probably affiliated or doing something involved some way in the Elephant Challenge. Whether you guys are doing single family, I know multifamily is kind of a big deal right now. So we'll be diving a little bit deeper into that as well today. But yeah, thanks. Give Sports Center vibes. I appreciate that. I thought it came out pretty well, man. Probably minus the F-bomb, but yeah, you guys don't need to know. You guys don't need to know how to do things. Whatever that is, you just need to know the who that does.
Absolutely.
And once Chris and I understood that at a higher, there's probably two things that have aided in my growth, my personal growth and development this year, when it comes to learning about business and scaling and really setting some reaching goals, but realistic goals. And one of them I'll share with you was some advice Chris and I got while we were at our, we went to was it last March?
Last March, the mastermind.
That's where Chris and I met, and then we became business partners officially. We went into business June 1st. But one of the biggest pieces of advice, in my opinion, that we got, would you agree, Chris? I think you know where I'm going with this.
Absolutely.
It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. So let that simmer for a second. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. So when you think about that for a second, think about, who do you think you are? A father, a husband, a mother, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, a business partner, a community leader, a church leader. So think about who you think you are. Maybe it's the fact that you want to make a ton of money so you can go back, you can contribute to the community. You can go buy stuff for your kids at school. You can go help, homeless vets. You can help your children. You can help them understand. So think about those things for a second. Facebook user says too many things to list. I wish I knew your name right now.
I'm looking at on my phone. It's Nick.
Is it Nick Valet?
No, Nick Stangle. I think STANGL.
Well, appreciate you being here, Nick. Either way, thank you. But so think about this for a second. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. So if those are some of the things that you identify with, and those are some of the things that you want to be, that's great. That's not what's holding you back. Okay, who you think you are, or let me go back. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. It's who you think you are not. If you don't think you are the type of person that can leave your job by December 31st, that's what's holding you back.
Absolutely.
If you are the kind of person that thinks, man, I don't know anything about multifamily. I don't know anything about underwriting multifamily. I need to go learn those things before I move forward. That's the type of shit that's holding you back. If you think, hey, you know what? I want to build a business. I want to build a 6-figure-a-month business. I want to build a 7-figure-a-month business. But that's 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Guys, that's the type of shit that's holding you back. So once you flip the script, once you change your thinking and you understand that, now start looking at it from the lens of, okay, I want to go make $1 million this year. Or maybe you want to make $100,000 a year, 500, whatever your guys' goals are. Maybe it's making $3,000 a month. Maybe it's $5,000 a month. Whatever that looks like for you guys. If you think you are the type of person that's not capable of doing that or accomplishing that this year or this month or this the first quarter, whatever that looks like, guys, that's what's holding you back. Okay, Chris and I, one of our goals is to get into some really big commercial family this year. Do you guys think I'm a master at underwriting commercial multifamily? No. As a matter of fact, most of you probably know more about underwriting commercial family than I do. But guess what? Guys, that's my point, is you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything from A to Z. In order for me to go buy 100 doors, I don't have to know anything about underwriting. I have to know the who that does. And how can I bring value to them? How can I bring them into my business? How can we do some cool shit and make some money?
Yeah.
So whether that's social media, whether that is, wanting to develop a skill like underwriting or learning about systems and automations, marketing, sales, negotiation. This is actually kind of a good segue into what we're going to be talking about, Chris. And I like that it happened kind of organically. Mm-hmm. But for those of you guys who are familiar with avatars, that's the entire reason why avatars exist. Because a lot of people, as most of you guys are probably seeing or have experienced, jumping into real estate is like drinking through 10 fire hoses.
10 minimum? I think that's on the low minimum. Spectrum. I think that's on the low end. I kind of
undersold it there, didn't I? Yeah. That's real estate though, right? So once you understand that, hey, I don't need to know everything. I don't need to know the entire process from A to Z. And when you understand that you don't need to know that, and that's okay. All you need to understand is, hey, I need to go find the who that does. Thank you, Mel. I really appreciate you being here, and thank you for the kind words. But these are some of the things that Chris and I have learned over the last couple years. There are people in here I know that are focused on wholesaling because in their mind, they need to go wholesale so they can save up $50,000 so they can go buy their own property. Chris, what do you think about that scenario? What would you say to people who are listening right now, and in their mind, they're saying, hey, I need to focus on wholesaling this year so I can put enough money in my account so then I can start buying properties. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
My thoughts is why? Why do you need to do that? If you got a community around you, Jesse and I can contest what we literally just did with our Alaska flip. No money out of pocket. You don't need to save up a significant amount of money to buy a property. It relates back to the who, not how. And a side note, I want to just say congratulations to our team, Third Mind. We actually listed our property yesterday. And within 24 hours, we're already receiving hours. I mean, it was receiving offers on the property. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Little side note. That's one.
Super exciting. In
But
Alaska, we rehabbed an igloo.
Yeah. It was pretty cold, but we got it done. But no, back to your initial question. Yeah, you just have the right community around you, right people, right. Just don't involve yourself with the wrong people. Stay within the community, whether that's in the creative finance or real estate, whatever your network looks like specifically. Just please make sure you're around the right people. Just don't get around persons because they state they're in real estate. Like he related to earlier, who, not how. Content. Nick. We reached out to Nick. That was literally who, not how principle, right? We related back to him specifically saying, hey, can you build us an intro, whatever that specifically may look like. And, we tweaked it here and there and bam, there it goes.
Now, Chris, was it because we didn't have the experience? Was it because we didn't have money? Was it because we didn't have time? Like, why did we end up reaching out to Nick?
Because that wasn't a money-making opportunity for us. There's other things that we have within our business that we work on a daily basis that's a little bit worth more our time versus trying to create content.
100%. 100%. And guys, that's why, and this loops back to that book that we were talking about, Tribe of Millionaires. If you had a tribe of, literally, guys, think about that. If you had a tribe of millionaires around you, consistently, what would that do to your mind and what you think you are capable of, what you think you are not capable of? I love that I'm getting comments in here. I love that you guys are like, dude, like you're speaking directly to me. Kevin, dude, I appreciate that. Thank you. Imagine how drastically your life, if you think this is cool, I appreciate that you are here with me and Chris, but if you think this shit is cool, how drastically would your life change if you legit had a tribe of millionaires around you? Now, like I said, whether that's literally or metaphorically speaking, in your mind, you have to become a millionaire. In your mind, you have to do millionaire shit every single freaking day, long before it's going to manifest itself on paper. When you look at where you're at in your life right now, the car that you drive, the house that you're in, are you guys even taking vacations? Are you barely scraping by? Are you putting just a little bit in a save? Whatever your situation is, look at that. And ask yourself, can I afford to not change my habits? Can I afford to not change my thinking? What does this look like if I'm stuck in the same damn situation 6 fucking months from now because I didn't want to wake up and do the work before I had to get to work? Everybody in here wants to be, not even everybody in here, but everybody in general just wants to be successful, but nobody wants to work for it. You have to develop this mentality. You have to develop these habits that align with making $1 million. And once you do that, that's when you start seeing the momentum. That's why they say, there's a quote from, I think it's Warren Buffett's, or one of Warren Buffett's like CPAs or something like that. But he said, the first $100,000 is a bitch. And that's why. That's an actual quote. And that's why. Because you're trying to figure out. Julie, if I'm being transparent with you guys, I cussed at 12:56 on New Year's Day. New Year's hit, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've got this. If I'm being completely transparent, I think I dropped an F-bomb at 12:56 a.m. on New Year's Day. It's like, well, I got 364 and a half more days to get it all out before we try again, right? I've been failing for 23 years, guys. But those are the types of things you have to do, and those are the types of things you have to go through. Those are the obstacles that you have to overcome. And each time you do, your mindset changes on what you have to do and what you're capable of doing. And once you start doing that and having higher level conversations, those conversations are going to spark different ideas and ways of going about things that otherwise you probably wouldn't have had. Like going back to what we were talking about, like we're bringing this whole thing full circle. I love this conversation today. But this opportunity that we have to purchase this big mansion in New York, it came about because we were intentional. We were aligning. Our mindset was looking for those $1 million opportunities. It's like when you're purchasing a car. I love this analogy. When you're purchasing a car, I remember when I first started, I bought in 2018, I bought my first brand new truck. It was a 2018 Ram 2500 with a Cummins, Laramie, the leather seats, all that kind of stuff. It was super dope. But for the 4 or 5 months before I bought it, I'm researching those. I'm looking at the statistics. I'm looking at the safety ratings. I'm looking at towing capacity. I'm looking at how much room they have. And because that's where my mind was aligned, what the hell do you guys think I started seeing all over the roads? Ram 2500s. Oh, I love that. I love the running boards on this one. I love this color. This one's got a 3-inch lift. I love the 35-inch tires this one has. Oh, this is a neat little hitch. I'm definitely going to need that one. But when you start retraining your mind, automatically, Ed Milet has a word for it, and I forgot what it's called. It's a 3-letter acronym. I don't remember what the acronym is or what it was called, but you're habitually training your mind to be in sync with those things that you want. They're in alignment, and you just automatically, it's like breathing. You don't even think about it. You're just in alignment, and you're looking for those opportunities. So with that being said, let's kind of pivot a little bit here, because we've hammered down on feeling stuck and mindset stuff, which I didn't intend on going into. So hopefully you guys got some value from that. Hopefully you don't feel like I was carrying on. But Chris, let's talk about avatars for a second. I know we kind of started taking it, and then I took a detour a little bit, but
yeah, absolutely.
Why are avatars so important? Like, why do you think those kind of came out, and how can those help people feeling stuck this morning? I had a really good friend actually that I went to the gym with this morning, and he was telling me the same thing. He was like, Jesse, like I've got so much information. I don't even know what to do with all this information. Like I'm not where I want to be. And so we brought up kind of the avatar thing, but why is that so important? How can people take that and kind of start transforming their year?
Yeah, absolutely. So more so avatar. One, if you guys don't know what an avatar is, please, if you're in a creative finance group or the sub 2, just please search in the search bar, avatar. You can start there. There's a lot of different avatars out there. Understanding exactly what your avatar is can take you a long way. And now you can have more than one avatar, which is phenomenal. But at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Having 6, 7, 8, 9 different avatars, and trying to do it especially if you're green, going into real estate, a newer individual who's learning the process, you definitely want to start off with one avatar, whether that's you're good with paperwork, whether you're good at communicating with the sellers, whatever that specifically may look like for you. It's very important to choose exactly what that looks like. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, doesn't Pace have a YouTube video about it, like a 10-minute video, but exactly explains it more so?
It's 10 minutes and 3 hours.
Oh.
I think it's closer to 3.5 hours.
I didn't want to scare him, but it's
well, I mean, everybody's here. Everybody knows Pace,
right?
When he delivers, he over delivers, man. No stone left unturned for sure.
So understanding your avatar more so is very essential, especially in real estate, because it's kind of like you're branding yourself and understanding, gearing back to who, not how. So on a hypothetical, if you like communicating with sellers and you don't like dealing with paperwork, then you need to find that other avatar. And then join forces in JV and see exactly what that next step looks like. Luke, thanks for dropping the video. Much appreciated. I see you just put it up there. I wish we can do that StreamYard and YouTube, but I see it's in Facebook. But more so, understanding exactly what that looks like. if you like doing paperwork, you're a transaction coordinator, right? And maybe you want to start reaching out to other avatars to do other parts of your business so you can really scale at a higher level. Jesse and I specifically, and our third business partner, Colin, we all have our individual avatars, right? And at the same time, the other avatars that we possibly may need in our business, we source it out and see who can actually help us facilitate the next step. And it kind of relates back into scaling your business. You can't scale it alone. It's great to want to do acquisitions, direct to seller, underwriting. I can go down the list. It's about 15, 20 of them. Different avatars. It's a lot of different avatars out there, but it really starts with really understanding exactly what resonates with you. And don't just pick one because that's what everyone's go to. Pick one because it relates to your situation, your life, and what makes you happy. You'd be surprised how many individuals out there will pick a avatar on a hypothetical. I'm just throwing out there. They're either a connector, right? They're a connector. And then they realize 3 weeks after they just wasted all this time, they're not a connector. They're not really motivated. They want to be a helper. And then they just spend another month or month and a half. They want to be a helper. Then they realize they want to be a gator lender. And then 6 months on, so you just wasted almost 9 to 12 months trying to figure out exactly what that is because you're not happy. Understand exactly what that looks like for you. If you got a W-2, make it flow with your W-2. And pick whatever that specific Luke says me. Whatever that looks like for you and your W-2, and you're happy with that, stay consistent with it. And then once you master that element of whatever that avatar is, then you can start, implementing different avatars. Me personally, I'm multiple avatars, but I didn't start with trying to do 6, 7, 8 of them at one time. I started with one. I was very intentional with one, understanding how to execute that avatar, how I can provide value to other avatars, and what that specifically looks like. And once I started doing that, then understanding that not the craft more so that specific avatar, then you can really, really start doing the nitty gritty. And there's a lot of avatars on there I will never touch. Transparently, I will never touch. I know what I like, and I know what I don't like. And same thing with Jesse. Jesse knows what he want to do and things he loved to do, and that it really kind of relates back to all of it. And who, not how. So understanding your avatar is very, 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 very important.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man, absolutely.
I wish I had gotten that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No. So it kind of gears it to my statement of more so talking about understanding real estate. Once you understand your avatar, you would definitely understand exactly what the next steps look like. You start sourcing it out. Like if you like communicating on the phones or a direct to seller or direct to agent, whatever that may look like specifically, you may want to be an acquisition person, lead manager, whatever that specifically look like. And again, this is based on your W-2 or if you're doing real estate full time, what that specifically look like. A lot of people like just being acquisition managers. Some of the people don't like being an entrepreneur. That is totally fine. Whatever it and again, I just want to make this very clear. You don't have to go into real estate full time to be successful. There's a lot of part-time individuals that I personally know, Jesse personally know, that specifically love their job, never want to leave their job. That's either in law enforcement, within the hospitality restaurant industry, also nurses that are my personal lender. They love helping people. And that's totally fine. If you love helping people, Jesse and I, we love solving problems, helping people through real estate. They love saving people's lives, whether it's through heart surgeries or whatever that specifically may look like. But what I'm guaranteed is more so you don't have to, quit your job to be successful in real estate. You can make a ton of money still loving the job you have. So Iffy, I just saw that. Yep. She loved being a pharmacist. And she's in real estate. It's totally, you can definitely balance the life. It just understand exactly what your avatar is, and then understand exactly what the next steps is. And thanks for, I think it says Facebook user, they posted the avatar video series as well. It says Facebook user. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is, but I wish I knew. But thanks for dropping that for us. But just please, guys, just don't try to jump into real estate. Just trying to take everything on yourself. We meet a lot of people that just they'll call us or reach out to us specifically say, hey, just tell me how to do this, this, and this. They want to do everything from A to B. I mean A to Z, and then it's great to do your first transactions. Like me personally, transparently, I did my first transaction by myself, right? And at the same time, I tried to do my second by myself, but it took me 6 months to do that by myself. Versus those 6 months compared to now, if I would have joint venture or had the right individual around me at that specific time, I would have probably 10x my business by now. And every I did the first deal I ever did was just by myself. Every single transaction I closed, I lost count. We successfully closed in over 14 states. We did hell over a minimum of 20 transactions of real estate, a minimum. That's actually, I think we should probably look that up and see exactly what the number is.
We'll find out come tag, when our CPA starts doing everything.
So I just thought about it when I was speaking out loud, but more so specifically, every single deal besides that one transaction I did my first when I go into real estate, I did with somebody. It was always joint venture. And I scaled my business to a different level. Versus imagine if I was still doing it by myself, I would still be struggling, trying to find out different resources, trying to understand different things, stressing myself out, overwhelming myself for just one deal. And a lot of people understand that one specific deal, and especially a lot of newer people, if you got one deal and you think it's strong, but it's really not, I call it the assignment breath, because people are trying to push that one deal and force it to work because that kind of, you maybe don't have a conveyor belt, you maybe don't have a significant amount of leads, you maybe just have this one potential hot lead that the seller's ready to move forward, or maybe not. It all depends, right? They may ghost you, right? They may ghost you and say, hey, Chris, I really need you to reach out to them because they want to move forward, and to find out they're not really motivated. There's a reason they ghosting you. One, is it enough credibility? Two, is it the right time? Three, you can't force the seller to sell unless you really understand their pain, what you're trying to solve there, and also what that really entails. When Jesse and I approach conversations for any seller or agent, we want to understand exactly what's going on. We don't give a damn about the price. We really don't. We want to understand exactly what is the reason to sell. Like, why are they going to do it through a divorce? And sometimes now, if you're talking to an agent, they don't know. They're not doing their job as a client to understand the seller's their specific client's full understanding what's going on. But most of the times we don't care about the price. Whether it's listed on market or is off market, we always go to understanding what's the main reason why they're looking to sell. If they're not really looking to sell, it's going to be very challenging to try to force them to do something that doesn't make sense. And one thing Jesse and I are very good, we don't force anybody to do anything they want to do. We don't want to do it. We want somebody to do it to us. Once we have if they have a problem, we have a solution. And one thing that for Jesse and I, we stand out from the crowd because specifically we have about 15 different options. We can go down the list to solve that problem. And a lot of newer wholesalers don't. They think the traditional way of thinking, which is totally fine. You're learning, right? And that's what gears back to just squatting up with the right people, understanding your avatar, and just literally executing on that. SuperMario, great to see you, man. SuperMario, phenomenal individual. If you guys are not going to his weekly and daily meetings, I think they're still the same time. I'm not for sure if they change or anything like that, but yeah, he's 100% right. Focus on finding motivation, not creating motivation. I could not agree more. I
popped into one of his meetings one time, and right when I popped in, he was talking about they were going over the sales process, and one of the things that he said was, it's not our job to convince the inconvincible.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Dude, he's always dropping bombs, man. Mario, I freaking love you, dude. I've got an entire book filled up of Super Mario nuggets.
Absolutely. So I kind of just want to go through more so the next topic is acquisitions, right? Those who are entrepreneurs understand that acquisitions could be very important in their business, dispositions and other sides, whatever that looks like as a full scale, right? And one thing I try to tell people, especially when, bringing on acquisitions, don't hire acquisitions too fast. And what I mean by that, make sure you have the right systems in place. Make sure there's consistency going on. If you don't have the right consistency going on, then that can backfire. And what I mean by consistency, as far as acquisitions and hiring, just make sure you have the right marketing in place. You have the money, the deal flow. And when I say deal flow, you're not just doing one deal every 4 or 5 months. You have consistency of 2 to 3 months minimum. We usually shoot for 3 months, but 3 months of consistent deals, whether that's 1 to 2, 3, or 3 to 4 a month, whatever that looks
20.
like. 20 would be phenomenal. But whatever that specifically look like, just make sure you have consistency, marketing, money. I literally stand by that. If you don't have that, then it's pointless to even hire acquisition managers, right? You're just gonna waste time, energy, because once you hire the acquisition manager, you got to spend time. A lot of people don't realize that if you don't spend time with your acquisition managers, one, you're setting yourself a failure. 2, you're not being a great leader. 3, it's just the fact of their representation of you and your company. And people don't understand, like, as an acquisition manager, it's great to be an acquisition. I was an acquisition guy before we really scaled this business. I was definitely an acquisitions guy. I didn't mind communicating on the phone with the sellers, but I really think that acquisitions managers typically leave a company or someone due to the fact of is the lack of leadership. I think I'm like a firm believer it's like 95% the reason why someone may leave. And I think the other 5% may more so they want to develop their own company or whatever that may look like. And that's great. We don't want to keep everyone with us for the lifetime or if you're in that position, but more so where I'm just gearing to is the fact of like acquisition managers usually leave a company just acquisition, disposition, whatever it may look like, just because of the leadership and within a company. And leaders out there know it's not what you do on the in front of people. It really is the development behind the scenes. Personally, are you trying to do better for yourself? Are you trying to enhance your brain? Are you reading more books? Whatever that specifically may look like. Are you working on yourself? Period. That is it. Are you really working on yourself to better yourself? A true leader understands that they have to do that for themselves to make the culture a little bit better. Enhance it, whatever that may look like specifically within that business, and kind of give back. You have to give back and provide time and resources to your acquisitions manager to have them execute properly on whatever that specific may look like. But if you really want to be a true leader, you have to create the path for growth internally first before you can actually give it out. You can't wing it. A leader cannot wing it. You have to do a lot of research, a lot of analysis, growth, development internally, personally, before you can just try to force it out to someone. So I hope that makes sense when, it comes to like the acquisition, just make sure those who are entrepreneurs, leaders, just please make sure before hiring, don't just hire because, before we start hire acquisitions, we're going to have this. We're going to do this. We're going to make this amount. No, make this amount first and see what the consistency is before you start just bringing on and wasting time and energy. So
can I add on a different perspective on there as well?
Absolutely.
Well, I guess to a complementing perspective, because Chris gave some great advice for people who are looking to bring on acquisitions managers. And I want to touch on people who are looking to be acquisitions managers. I had a conversation with somebody. I got a phone call, I think it was yesterday, as a matter of fact, from a gentleman who has been in real estate for, I think, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, I don't know if complaining is the right word. There was a little bit of
denial.
Oh, no, not denial, just
not taking
criticism.
ownership.
He just didn't feel like he was getting paid for his time.
Okay.
And so he called to kind of get my perspective on things. And let me share. I guess I'll share a little bit from my perspective. So if anybody of you guys are watching this and you're like, your first thought is, all right, I'm going to join a team. But first of all, I want to know how much money I'm going to be making. I want to know what splits are going to look like. I want to blah, 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 blah. Guys, look, you have two options here. And when I first jumped into this almost 3 years ago, I thought there was only one way to learn all this stuff. I thought I had to pay for it. And I did. And I paid dearly. The first year I jumped into real estate, I probably was somewhere in the ballpark of like 60 grand. Just between just a lot of different shit, guys. Now, mind you, this was money I didn't even have, guys. Just so everybody, I mean, I was maxing out credit cards. And this was completely new for me because up until that point in my life, I didn't know anything about money, like in terms of like making money. And I didn't know the difference between, an asset and a liability and all these other kind of things. All I knew, I was very good with money in terms of budgeting and following a financial plan. And, just making sure I was putting money into savings and we were consistent and living within our means and all that kind of stuff. So from that perspective, I was pretty solid. Now, I didn't really use credit cards or anything like that. So that's kind of getting into a different thing. You got a lot of people, once you understand money, you understand the power of leveraging credit cards and all that kind of stuff. But at that point in my life, I didn't get into credit card debt. I didn't touch credit cards. I didn't you know what I mean? Like I was very financially like, hey, this is my box and I'm not going to go out of my box. And probably a lot of you guys might be able to resonate with that. Maybe you guys are kind of raised the same way. So when I first got into real estate, jumping into all this credit card debt, guys, was really out of the norm for me. But I was under the impression, I was told that, hey, if you want to learn this shit, this is what you got to do. And the first mentorship I ever paid for, it wasn't sub 2, but it was I'm not going to say the name, but it cost me 23 grand. Chris, you do have a fantastic sweater, by the way, dude.
Oh,
thanks,
Aaron.
So good. You look so
Appreciate
good.
It.
But I thought, hey, I got to spend this money. I got to spend 23 grand. 23 grand I don't even have. If I want to go learn how to replace my income and do all these things. And I wish somebody looking back, I wish somebody would have said, Jesse, don't go do that. Look, man, come in here. Come in here. What is it you want to focus on? What do you love doing? What do you love putting your time and energy into? Are you a people person? Do you love getting on phones? Do you want to learn sales? Or do you more or less see yourself maybe sitting behind a computer, running spreadsheets, running KPIs, automating things, putting systems and stuff into place? I wish somebody would have approached me and it gave me that option, because in my head, that was the only way I could do it, was to go spend 23 grand on that first one, which obviously it didn't turn out to do anything. And, but it got me in the door. It put me in a financial thing, right? But it got me in the door. Had I not done it, I wouldn't be where I am right now. But my point that I'm getting at, guys, is if you're looking to go join a team, you need to acknowledge that, guys, if you want to learn something, like I'm totally under the like my mindset is now, if I want to go learn something, regardless of what it is, I'm going to go work for somebody else. And I'm going to go work for free. And I'm going to commit. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to work for you for 6 months. I don't expect to take any money, but I'm going to work my ass off for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. And in return, I just want to learn. I just want to get a peek behind the scenes and see how you guys are doing things. And as I increase my knowledge, I want to continue taking that and bringing value to you guys. I wish somebody would have given me that opportunity. The last thing on your mind, if you guys are looking to jump in and be an acquisition specialist for somebody, man, just go into it and lead with value. Just say, hey, I want to know about creative finance. I want to know some of the cool shit you guys are doing. Let me come in and let me just work for you. Guys, stop worrying about the fish. Stop worrying about whether you're going to get a fish that day. Yeah. And start just learning how to fish for yourself. If you guys can put the blinders on, pick an avatar like Chris said. Pick an avatar and commit 100% to it. If that's a TC, if that is running dispositions, if that's underwriting, whatever that is for you guys. If you guys want to call sellers and learn the sales process and how to be the Michael fucking Jordan of closing deals, then stop worrying about what you guys are doing. Put the blinders on. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing.
Right.
Because that'll be the big thing that hinders you. That'll be the thing that keeps you guys from getting to that $1 million or whatever it is you guys are trying to do. Part of developing that millionaire mindset is acknowledging this, focusing on one freaking thing and going into it being the Michael fucking Jordan of that one thing. Bring value to somebody else and then take that and build from it. Start bringing other people into your business. After you understand creative finance like Michael Jordan, and you need somebody else to come in to do this, then start bringing somebody else in to run acquisitions. And then maybe you start, now your time is freed up and you can start building the disposition side of your business, for example.
Yep.
But until that time comes, if you guys are wanting to be, I know I keep using this just as an example because this was what I wish I would have done. I wish somebody would have given me an opportunity or said, Jesse, you don't need to go spend 23 grand. Look, come work for me for 6 months and I will teach you everything and anything that you want to know as long as you are consistent and you are showing up. As long as you have an abundance mindset and an attitude to learn, then let's go. That's the fastest way to learn something, guys.
Absolutely. I want to touch on this right quick. Jesse, I'm pretty sure you see it in the comments as well. Rebecca, I got scammed in my first cash investment for a wholesale deal, so I've been scared to get back into it. 1, I'm sorry that happened to you. 2, don't treat that as a negative effect. I don't want anyone to get scammed. 2, make sure you always vet the individual you're working with. Understand, they may seem like they're how should I say it in the nicest way, Jesse? They may seem they're forthcoming, but at the same time, it just, please be careful with whom you're working with. Understand exactly what they did in the past in regards to relationships. It all depends on like who they may know. Transparently, there's a lot of people that's on Facebook that literally specifically, they might not have a picture on their page. Be careful working with those individuals. I hear a lot of stories that specifically they say they got scammed, they sent them money or whatever that looks like. But please build relationships before anything. Build relationships. Like transparently, I can actually show you a message I got on my messenger 2 days ago from a young lady. The photos on her Facebook specifically, I don't know if it's her or not, but if something seems off as her gut feeling, stating, hey, we'd love to work with you. I love your content. I would like, quote unquote, I have $183,000 I would love to spend. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. And I responded back, right? I said, hey, we'd love to hop on a call or a Zoom. No response. Things like that. Be careful. I don't care how much money you want to give me. I don't care. People want to give Jesse and I money all the time. But it really relates back to the relationships. It really do. I need to trust where this money's coming from. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. I need to trust the individual. I need to understand exactly, one, this individual's credible, because I just don't want to be tied up in anything. We're at this point of our lives, especially entrepreneurs and CEOs of our company, that we don't have time for the BS. We build enough relationships. We want to build more relationships. It's just a fact that for all the BS, we don't have time for none of that. But Rebecca, I'm very sorry that happened to you. I really hope it wasn't someone within the sub-2 community. I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't. But then again, if it is someone in the community, please report them. I appreciate if you are a sub-2 student, you do know how to do that. But at the same time, if it's in a creative finance group, same thing. Just actually, you can reach out to me. We can figure that out together. But don't be scared to get back into it. Everything happens for a reason. Treat it as a learning lesson. Do not stare away. Stop what you potentially envision in your head. Please don't do that. A lot of people, things happen. A deal may fall out of escrow. They think it's probably going to be a life-changing deal, maybe $100,000 assignment. Myself and Colin, we can teach you a lesson how not to lose $120,000. Literally $120,000 we lost.
Speaking of content, that'd be good content right there.
Okay.
How to not lose 6 figures.
That's actually a valid point there. There you go. but more so specifically, don't be scared. Everything happens for a reason. Stay positive. Even in the worst times, you got to stay positive and keep pushing. Everything really, truly happens for a reason due to the fact of, do I want it to happen to you? No, not at all. But really reflect, stay humble, and really understand exactly this could have been worse. And I truly think about that on a daily basis. It's things that I know for a fact I will want to change. And I don't regret anything in life because I truly think it's growing pains mentally. I can know how to not do it next time, right? And understand the process. But Rebecca, please don't be nervous to get back into it. I really want you to understand that, you have a community around you. And whomever he or she was that did that to you, please, one, don't work with them again. And two, I'm very good about, Jesse is with this as well. There's a lot of people that I know I won't work with. But I'm not that type of individual that would just put them on blast, on like make a post about it, like, hey, don't work with this person. That's not my character. Because I do think whatever's going to happen to them, it's going to happen to them. It's going to come back around, right? And Jesse and I know for a fact that specifically there's individuals we won't work with, this individual we do want to work with. And it starts with relationships. Like, we're not going to meet you in one day and all of a sudden like want to give you 50,000 or 40, whatever that dollar amount look like, or just want to do a partnership, build an LLC or whatever that look like specifically. There's a process to our madness. And it works. But more so, Rebecca, jump back in. Let's do deals. And I would love to hear more about what happened. And or if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. There's people in these comments I know for a fact that are credible that I would love for you to squad up with and work with. And I know for a fact that can help you get to the finish line, whatever that may look like. But please don't be scared to jump back in. Everything happens for a reason, and truly, truly understand that timing is everything. Maybe, and you may not want to hear this, but maybe it wasn't time for you to get your first investment with that property or asset, whatever that wholesale deal was. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't a good deal for you. And again, I don't know the full story, but that's the thought process that go through my mind when things fall through. And it happens all the time. So I hope that helped you a little bit. And I know I kind of deviated just specifically off the topic, but I just want to make sure that Rebecca, it's okay. It's okay. Things are going to happen, and transparently, this may happen again. Just please be careful. It's up to you to vet the right people and understand exactly whom you're working with. What kind of goes into my next topic more so is TC, transaction coordinating. There's a lot of transaction coordinating out there. I have it. Well, we have an extra transaction coordinating business, and whether you work with us or not, that's totally fine. But if you do work with somebody else, as far as a transaction coordinating and dealing with the property deals, whatever that specifically may look like, make sure you vet them. Don't just pop. Someone can easily post, make a fake page. I've been TCing. I'm a TC. Please reach out. I did this, and this. Vet these individuals. Please vet them. You have every single right to call them out. Like, if somebody, like, this actually happened 2 days ago with myself. It was actually a broker, Devin actually a broker. His boss Jonathan owns a brokerage, and he's one of the realtors, and they was actually looking to move forward with some kind of transaction coordinating, like inside, like in-house TC, which is something great for our company. But at the same time, specifically, he wanted to hop on a call, and it wasn't just himself, Devin. It was himself, Jonathan. It was a gentleman named Connor, a young lady named Caitlin. There was a lot of people from that specific brokerage that was on the call, and they actually got on the phone with myself, my assistant, and my partner. Like, little things like that. That's great. They're vetting us. They have every single right, and they asked 101 questions, and that is truly okay. If you ever hop on somebody who said they're a TC and you don't ask questions, and you should only blame yourself. You really should only blame yourself. And also, if you ask specifically a question they say they're TC and they're getting offended, there's something wrong with that picture. There's really something wrong with that picture. So vet who you're going to work with. We do a lot of transaction coordinating. Again, you guys already know we close a lot of transactions, and sometimes you can ask for referrals. 99% of my within my company, as far as transaction coordinating, comes from referrals. I don't post much about TC work, anything like that. It all comes from referrals. Could I start marketing posting 100%? But if I was vetting a TC, I would specifically ask more so like, how many transactions have you completed successfully? What states have you done it in? Whom can I actually reach out to verify this? Like one of your previous clients. And then literally specifically, yeah, 100%, I'll give you every single information. Like if you want to talk to, I can name drop a lot of people I did TC work for, right? But at the same time, you have every right to ask 101 questions. And that's exactly what the brokers did. And I answered myself and my assistant partner and everyone. We answered the questions, what they needed, and what that looked like. And we have to be knowledgeable, right? You got to understand, like, okay, the company you're working for is knowledgeable, they're credible, they're going to get the job done. Because essentially, TC work, a lot of people don't understand that transaction coordinating, it goes a long way. I personally, when I first started off in the real estate industry, I wish I would understand a little bit more about transaction coordinating and how important they really are needed within a company, and not just company, but to facilitate a transaction. Because initially, a lot of not TCs, I would say title companies or attorneys will drop the ball. And it's up to us within our company to make sure we catch that for you. And let's see, Iffy, bank TC wholesale mindset. I'm sorry, but what don't y'all do?
Content creation. We don't have content creation business.
That crap.
That's Nick Valet.
But yeah, we do it all. We really do it all, and that is hilarious, actually.
But Chris,
yes,
do we do it all? Do you do it all?
I don't do it all. I don't. We have the right people in their place to ensure that is done correctly.
So you know the who that does and how we can all work together.
Absolutely. But if that is funny. Didn't think about that, but yeah, that is very funny. Absolutely. And TC, transaction coordinating, guys, one thing that we actually launched this year, which is phenomenal. We actually we may be doing a little bit of marketing on. We're launching group packages. So, if you're doing whether it's 5 deals a month or 5 deals a year, we do got group discounted packages, which we're going to be sending out to everyone and all that good stuff. If you are registered already on the I think it's, let me look at this again. The live stream, you will automatically get it to your email. Those who want it, you feel free to reach out, to either info@thirdmind.com or one of us individual. We can make sure we get you set up and whatever that specifically look like. But you can look at our pricing, and of course, we can set up specifically what that looks like moving forward. As far as we actually got a couple clients that literally they got group packages for. They're doing a minimum of 12 deals a year. So little things like that, you can set up, and we can work that out initially. And make sure you guys, not just me, I'm just talking for all transaction coordinators. There's a lot of individuals that are amazing. They are amazing. I can, Michael, Kim, Caleb, Christopher, Chelsea. I can go down the list. There's so many of them. Whether you work with myself or any of them, they all have their individual companies. Please take care of them. Understand their time, value their time, respect their time, and understand that you are not the only client, and they'll get back to you in a timely manner. 100%. These are individuals. Love Francis is another one. These are individuals I know for a fact cares about your work, care about getting you to the finish line, and more so care about specifically you. Like understanding you. Like if your transaction not working out, let them know. Like, hey, I feel like this and this should be happening, or why is this not happening this way? Ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more clarity you get, the more ease of, because I'm pretty sure, there's always going to be some kind of miscommunication, or things are either in a gray area. It's always it's black and white for me. I'm very, I want to say very blunt, but I'm just right to the point where, hey, this is the way it looks. If you have any questions, concerns, please reach out more so. But there may be gray areas where maybe it's just a disconnect or a miscommunication in regards to what that looks like. Maj, how does someone apply for a DCR loan through Third Mind? The link is right there. Lending at thirdmindrei.com.
The email, not the link.
Apply. Okay. So Two things. Yes, you can go to thirdmindrei.com. You can go to our website under Third Mind Financing, and you will see where you can register. Once you register, it'll take you to the prompts of exactly what you're looking for as far as a DSCR loan. Interesting enough, we're talking about loans. We actually got 2 more loan products that we can offer you guys, which is phenomenal. We do have short-term rental loans as well, and I'm not going to announce the next one. We got 5 currently. We will have a 6th one. That'll be officially live by Monday. So once that's official, that's amazing. Now we can do a lot of different things. And we're still expanding, right? We're expanding. We're growing. We only, again, guys, we only
all day, every day,
100%. 45 states we can lend in as far as if you need any of our loan products. We're still working on a few different states to see if we can push it to almost 46, if not 47 states. Some states we're just not going to touch, just based on the area. Sorry, Jesse.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
So absolutely. That's a great question, though.
Great question, Maj. For those of you guys who don't know Maj, he's amazing. And his fiance, is it fiance? Do we technically class it fiance? Actually, I probably need to get a little bit more clarification on that, actually. But Maj is like Dwayne Johnson, except he's ripped and he only grazes. I don't know how it happens. But yeah, he only eats grass. You can see plant-based Maj. Dude, glad you're here, bro. Oh, I'm having a great day, bro. I'm having a great hair day. What it is. Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, he's about 2 months pregnant. Just 2 months. That's about it. Cat's out of the bag, guys. Here you go.
Pretty sure Arnold Schwarzenegger had a movie about that.
Cooper landing fishing guy. Poor little Alaska. Yeah. Fortunately, we do not land in Alaska yet.
We do DSCR, but they're only in Anchorage and Fairbanks, and it's a case by case. We don't do any construction loans. We don't do any fix and flip loans. We don't do any bridge loans. And it'd be awesome. With these new Airbnb products and stuff that we're coming out with, it'd be interesting to see what that would look like actually down on. So the Cooper Landing is an area on the Kenai Peninsula, which according to Airbnb.com earlier this year, the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska was the second most popular Airbnb destination in the country. Next to Hawaii. Hawaii was number 1, and then the Kenai Peninsula was 2. So it'd be interesting to see what we could do to kind of change that.
Absolutely. Nick gave us permission to see his name. That was him earlier.
There he is. Oh, he jumped on YouTube. That's what he did.
Okay, there you go. I noticed some of the posts in our Facebook group that look suspicious. I always check their Facebook profiles first to see if it's a new account. Red flag for me. 1,000%. And of course, there's some one-off scenarios depending on if you using a VA to create some marketing and whatever that looks like specifically. But yeah, 100%. Definitely check the Facebook pages transparently. If someone messaged me and they don't got any pictures, I don't respond. I don't got time to try to find out who you are, what that looks like, and they may be legitimate, but I don't got time for that. I don't got time for it. There's so many people out here just trying to scam people and get away and then delete their profile or block it or whatever that looks like specifically. No, don't got time for none of that. But Nick, you're right, man. Red flag for him. That's a red flag for me. Let's see. So yeah, I just hope you guys understand, like, more so when doing anything related to like transaction coordinated acquisitions, whatever that specifically looks like, make sure you vet your people you're working with, understand exactly what their intent is, not just like at a working with them, but what that overall look like for that specific company, where they're trying to go. What does that look like in 3 to 5 years? What does that look like in 10 years? And that's something that, for us, Jesse and I, we hop on a lot of meetings, and literally specifically, we don't just say, hey, how you doing? We want to understand, like, okay, where are you taking your business? Like, I don't know if it's going to be a great fit for Jesse and I. We have no idea.
Our tribe of millionaires, right? We got to make sure whether you're actually a millionaire or not, we need to make sure that the people that we're working with are a millionaire right here, that they have habitual millionaire things that they are doing or wanting to do.
Absolutely.
We only got 24 hours. We got the same 24 hours Warren Buffett does. Who's he surrounding himself with? What kind of conversations is he going to have? You got to be really intentional with that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 100%.
Speaking of these avatars, though, Chris went down.
Absolutely.
I mean, just as an example, real quick, because people might be thinking like, okay, if I want to be a TC, let's say that's all I want to focus on. Let's say TC is my avatar. I love doing TC, love doing the paperwork. I don't got to call sellers. I don't got to get yelled at. I don't get told to F off. Probably for the most part. Chris, have you ever been told to F off as a TC yet? Is that a thing?
Oh no, not yet. But as as my first phone call, yes, 100%.
But not as a TC.
Not as a TC. Not at all.
Okay. So maybe if TC sounds like your bag, baby, and you might be asking yourself, okay, cool. So I can be I can start a business. My business can be TCing.
Absolutely.
Guys, it's still involved in real estate, though. You're probably thinking like, okay, well, but I want to buy properties. I want to own properties.
Yep.
Where is everybody taking their properties, guys? They're bringing them to you.
Yep.
How many people go lock up a property and go bring it to a TC, and then during the 45-day inspection period or 15-day or whatever that inspection period is, they're like, okay, I need you to TC this. Go ahead and contact the title company. Go ahead and open up escrow. I need to go find a buyer. What an opportunity to look at everybody's deals and be like, oh, I'll be your buyer.
Yep. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people understand that you really understand who's actually buying properties and not just daisy chaining and stating, oh, I'm going to buy this property. You full scope of work. We look at a screen and know exactly who's the seller, who's actually buying, who's tends to not close on transactions. You know, they say they're buying up everything, but at the same time, never get it to the finish line. Those are key things. Those are definitely key things. Luke, as a TC, do you know all the investor-friendly title companies in each state? 1,000%. 1,000%.
100%. You know, it's interesting as a TC, because we're talking about avatars, and I know we kind of focused on just those three as the main, but when you look at connector, helper, guys, that coincides. Like Chris said, you can have 2 or 3 different avatars that you kind of resonate with. And for you, if that's you, if you're like, man, I'm a connector, I'm a helper, I want to, maybe dive into TCing. As somebody, as a TC, not me, but I'm just like, if you were to, as a TC, you have access, you got just all these investors that are coming to you. You know who's buying, you know who's selling, you know who's wholesaling, you know all these things. I mean, what an amazing opportunity for you to be that connector for everybody. Everybody's bringing their deals to, I need you to open up escrow, and I need to go find a buyer for this. Actually, John, I've got 3 buyers who I've dealt with in the last 3 months who are buying in this area. Go bring a buyer to the table. Now you're making money as a TC and potentially 50-50 that wholesale deal with somebody if you can go bring a buyer to it.
Yep.
Or maybe you want to be the buyer. Maybe you want to get into fixing and flipping. You don't have to do any marketing, because as a TC, everybody's bringing you their shit.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's just so many ways, guys, that we can all collectively get together and make money. Be that tribe of millionaires. But once you
100%.
put yourself, you have to be looking for those. You have to be looking for the Ram 2500 with the Cummins. That's why they say the problem with real estate is there are too many ways to be successful in it. And this is why. Because as a TC, if you get really focused in on it, you could miss out on an opportunity like that. Somebody brings you a deal and you might already know somebody. But maybe you're busy dealing with, W-2 stuff, or you let some of these other, distractions in life keep you from seeing that opportunity. You could buy real estate because, as a TC, man, you know who's lending, you know who's buying, you know who's wholesaling. Gosh dang, man. What a powerful position to be in. And that could be the same with any avatar, guys. We were talking about TC, so I just wanted to use that as an example and maybe hopefully kind of get the gears turning a little bit. You can be a TC and still invest in real estate, but just using your avatar that aligns with what you love doing. And if that's TC, that's fantastic. What an awesome way to build a business and to continue building relationships and buying real estate. Because that's why we're all here. I think at some point, I think everybody here, whether you're wholesaling or you're whatever it is that you guys are doing, maybe you're just lending. The goal ultimately is to start buying assets and have passive income coming in. And they're just when you're aware, when you're looking for those opportunities, when you're in that mindset, when you're intentional, it's just amazing to see how many different opportunities can come your way.
Yeah, Mod, you missed it earlier.
Ram 25, yeah. What are you saying right there? Are you looking for clarification, or is this a little bit of judgment? Is this like, oh no, because I saw somebody posting there about being a Ford person earlier. Ram 2500 with a Cummins, dude. There's no G. There's no G. A Cummins. It's a motor. It's a diesel.
Yeah, and then okay, yeah. Thanks, Hector, for jumping over. We can actually see you now. Perfect. Oh, I think we're both plugged in. There you go. Thanks for jumping over, man. Let's see. And JP King, I think he's relating back fire scam and all that good stuff. I despise Facebook, but the subject community taught me to rejoin in for network purposes. Yeah, that's something we do. I caved. I'm here, but I can imagine my new profile hinders me a bit. Yes. It could 100%. Essentially that's why, and again, maybe I should back up just a little bit, right? Of course you need to do your due diligence and vet them, but I'm very good at, I need to have a conversation with you. That is it. I need to hop on the phone, and actually I'm just going to say it. Sometimes the first thing I'm going to say, let's hop on a Zoom. And if your camera's not on and your Facebook page is already suspicious, then we got a problem. We're not going to have another conversation. And again, we can schedule it out and all that good stuff. That's totally fine. But at the same time, specifically, JP, I totally get it. I totally get it. And more so, of course, it just is. Everyone just have to understand is you're right to protect yourself. And personally, I wouldn't want no one to work with me unless they really got to know me. Get to know me. Understand exactly what that looks like. Do some research. See if I've been in jail for 89 years and just got out. Literally, you just don't know. Right. And I know I'm throwing a hypothetical, but in reality, it's true. Do some due diligence on the people you're working with. Understand exactly what that looks like. Build a relationship. And then, you just never know where it goes to. And it's okay. It is okay. If the other individual on the other side really don't want to show you who they are in regards to like their face, Zoom, or whatever that look like, just don't work with them. Move on. There's a million people out here that's making millions of dollars. Don't waste your time on one individual trying to figure out who they are. Don't spend hours or days. It just literally set up a time to call or hop on that Zoom, and then you guys can have the next conversation. If they don't hop on that Zoom, no problem. Move on. It's okay. What you're looking for is probably not that individual. Everything really goes back to everything happens for a reason. Everything really. Look who just showed up. Angie. What's going on, Angie?
Thanks for being here, Angie.
Angie is amazing. I've been myself and Jesse. I know we watch a lot of their content. They do a lot of content creation as well in regards to they actually substitute leaders as well. And not just that, they're in a multi-family space. And if you're not following, I think it's Angie and her fiance or husband. I don't want to screw it up, but I'm not for sure if you guys are married yet. I'm not trying to tell the guy to propose to you or anything if he didn't do it. So I don't want to. I don't want to start anything.
Man. Chris said you were my fiance.
So they're phenomenal leaders. They're definitely like I was talking about credibility earlier. Her and Amaj confirmed it. There we go. Okay. Oh, Angie husband, son, Joey's best friend. Okay, perfect. Understand now. I got the full picture. But yes, I was talking about credibility earlier. This is a perfect example. This is Angie. She built herself, her brand, and literally specifically, this is one person. If I was to choose out of people in the comments and stuff, I will work with her. She's doing stuff. She's literally showing what she's doing. She's putting her husband, son, and Dylan. the entire army they have over there. They're doing a phenomenal job. But overall, this is talking about credit. But I know I name dropped a lot of people earlier. This is someone that you can work with, that you can trust to get your deal to the finish line. That's not going to scam you or try to snake the deal. They're going to walk you through that process, whatever that specifically may look like. If you need help on whatever that may look like, I'm pretty sure if they don't know the answer, just like us, we will guide you to the person who may have that answer. And yeah, I just wanted to give her a shout out because it was good to see her here. Yeah, appreciate you as well. I definitely appreciate you and what you guys are doing. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Yeah, I'm like a fan. I do gotta say that I'm a fan.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, thank you, Angie. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you, Paul.
Dude, you're on fire with that freaking sweater today, bro. I need to go get a matching one or something, man. You look like you live in Alaska and you're just cozied up next to a fireplace or something, man. Or at least you should be.
Gosh, we're supposed to get a snowstorm this week, and then we got like a drop of. Well, when people hear snowstorm in New York, like 3 inches, 5 inches, that's nothing. Like when you're getting like feet. Okay, maybe it get to something, but even then, like a foot of snow. I mean, like a foot of snow is nothing to us. So basically, the sun's just like coming out because right here it's like coming out right now, but it's basically just icy out. But it is cold as shit. To answer your initial question, it's cold. It is cold.
Well, real quick, guys, we're gonna wrap this thing up real quick. We'll probably end with some Q&A. If there's anything that you guys want to know, we might do maybe 5 or 10 minutes of Q&A. If you guys have something that you came across this week, something you guys are working on, maybe something you're wanting to do leaning forward, let us know. Let us highlight you. Let us help out in any way that we can. While you guys are thinking of those questions real quick, I wanted to come back to this. I wanted to come back to Rebecca and I just kind of wanted to share a little bit of thought of how I kind of perceived that situation in terms of you being scammed on that wholesale deal. And it was interesting because just in terms of, kind of going back to mindset and how I've trained my mind to kind of look at and perceive things differently now. Like Chris said, I mean, we have people that we just don't work with. And we don't have time, guys, to hate and to criticize and condemn and complain. And we just don't have time for that shit, man. I'm too fucking busy doing other stuff, man. We're here to make money, right? We're here to do stuff. I don't have time to get on Facebook and all these other kind of things. But my point being is that there's a silver lining to everything. A silver lining to everything. I think Chris is right. I think things happen for a reason. And when I understood that at a higher level, let me share my perspective on that with you. When you tell, there's a saying, you guys have probably heard it. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And the reason I bring that up is maybe that wholesale deal, I just feel like when you share that, your mindset, your alignment is, hey, I want to go make millions of dollars. I want to do big things. I want to accomplish these big things. I want to build a freaking legacy. Well, in order to do that, in order to scale, in order to do that as fast as you can, there are certain obstacles you have to go through, right? From being this person that you are to being this person that you're capable of becoming, there's this transition that everybody has to go through. Most people will not. But in going through that transition, you have to have these hiccups. You have to go through these things. And how you handle that will determine how fast you go from this person to this person. If it takes you a couple years to figure some things out, then you might go through it a little bit slower. But if you acknowledge that and you're looking for, okay, this happened. What can I learn from this? What can I take from this? How can I take that and implement it today? How can I go make money with that information today? I got fucked out of money. Cool. How do I take that? And how do I go make, how do I take an abundance mindset? And how do I go make even more money with that today? What did I learn from this? And so I would encourage you, just some things that I think about when because I have shit like this that happens in my life too, right? Like things come up. That's just life. That's just part of being a human. We have things that happen. Sometimes we make money. Sometimes we lose money. But in doing that, we have to elevate our mindset in the way that we think and the way that we perceive things from how 99% of people look at, think about, and perceive things, right? That's why there's that 1% because they think differently. Absolutely. So if you can take that scenario and you can, like the way that I thought about it as you were describing it was, from my perspective, I was almost like, Rebecca, this is amazing because you are in alignment with much bigger shit than just one deal. The universe, God acknowledged that, put an obstacle in your life for you to elevate yourself, to elevate your way of thinking, to overcome that so that you can get one step up, right? Because like we talked about, your mind expands just like a rubber band. And when you level up, you never level back down. So if you can be freaking intentional with that instance, with that circumstance, take that and say, okay, what did I learn from this? What am I not going to do?
Absolutely.
Or what am I going to do differently? Boom, you have leveled up. And next time that obstacle comes around, that obstacle is now down here. It's on a lower level. That's not even on your playing field anymore. And you are one step closer to becoming that person that you're capable of becoming, to becoming that person you want to become. And you're doing it that much quicker. And when you understand those obstacles are there in order to get you over that hump, the fact, like, like the way that I look at this, the way that I look at it and perceive failure now is, if I can just hurry up and fail today, like if I can just create a fuck ton of opportunities for me to get in here and fail, then guess what? I'm going to hurry up and win faster. I'm going to get to my goals faster.
Absolutely.
I don't have time to get on Facebook and I'm not saying that anybody's doing that. And Rebecca, I'm certainly not saying that you're doing that. All I'm saying is I've taken what I've learned from these things that happen in my life, and I go and I try to implement and I be intentional with it and say, okay, what did I learn from this? How can I do it better? Maybe that's something as simple. Maybe the transaction was not correct. Maybe, like Chris said, maybe that person was not properly vetted. Maybe, shoot, I don't know. Maybe it was just something about that was obviously wrong or fictitious or whatever happened, right? How can you learn from that? Maybe you can look at it and say, okay, I didn't vet this person properly. So moving forward, anybody that I work with now, these are going to be my 3, 5, 10 things that I'm going to go down, and they have to meet every single check mark. And so now as you elevate yourself, as you grow your business, your circumstances, that now becomes a new standard. Anybody that comes in and wants to do business with you, that's the new standard now, right? And it is streamlined. And somebody comes in, they got a deal that they want to do with you, and you're like, okay, cool. Let's jump on a Zoom and let's go through these 10 things real quick. And if they pass the test, then cool. Now you're working with them. Now you guys are making money. That process is streamlined. And like I said, you've elevated your circumstance, and that issue, that scam, that level of energy is no longer even on your radar. Like, that isn't to say you're not going to have problems, right? As you continue elevating your circumstances, your problems change. They don't go away. But the quicker that you learn how to overcome those obstacles, the faster you're going to get to the end of the road of where you're trying to go. Absolutely. The obstacle is the way. 100%.
I believe that's Michael based on the comments. So there was a question specifically that I wanted. Let me scroll back up. That I wanted to initially answer. Probably lost it in the comments, but more so, it was relating to, I think it was Angel or who asked specifically about something. Oh, here we go. It was Nick. Nick, what is the best first team member to bring onto a new team? Jess, what are your thoughts about that?
I think I need a little bit more clarity. Can you kind of tell me a little bit, Chris, how you're interpreting that? What's the best first team member to bring into a new team?
The way I'm interpreting that is more so, who is the first person you should hire within your company?
I think it depends on what you're doing. Like if your avatar is you want to learn how to dispo and you want to be the Michael Jordan of dispoing, then that's where all of your attention is going to be. You don't have any lead gen of your own, right?
Absolutely.
So then maybe it depends on what are you wanting to grow a business that is just dispo, or are you wanting to grow a business that all of a sudden has an acquisition side to it and you want to start building out that? If that was the case, just as an example, if your avatar is dispo and you build the shit out of that dispo, you're now the Michael Jordan of dispo. You got all these buyers and relationships and credibility and all these other kind of things. You bring in somebody else now and you train them everything that you know about being a dispo manager. And now you freed up 40 hours of your week so you can go and you can start focusing on your marketing. And maybe you're going straight to seller, direct to seller. So whether you decide to do PPC, or maybe you want to hire a VA and do cold calling. Now, all of your time is going to be directed towards training that VA and learning that side of the business. Well, at the same time, your dispo is not necessarily on autopilot, but you're not involved with it like you used to be. You're just overseeing it now.
Absolutely.
So it really just kind of depends. Like in that scenario, the first person I'd bring into my business is somebody to replace me as the dispo manager so I can go focus on other areas of my business. A lot of people are trying to do everything from A to Z. They want to do the lead gen. They want to do the marketing. They want to train their VA. They want to train their acquisitions managers. And then they want to do dispo. They want to do their own TC. And what a slow way to do it. Go work for somebody else is step one. If there's things you guys want to be doing, go work for somebody else. And just say, hey, I'm going to work for you. I don't expect to get paid, but I'm here to make you money. And in return, I want to learn what you know. Put your head down for 6 months and focus on one avatar. Okay. If that's being a dispo manager, after that 6 months, if you guys decide to move and you want to, break away and do your own thing, then you now have a dispo business. And that's the first person I would hire, is somebody to come in and start replacing me in my dispo business, so I can go focus on other shit.
Absolutely. So Nick, I really hope that answered what you're looking for. Got a little bit of clarity, and it really all depends on the operation, what you're really trying to build, or what, as he just stated. If someone really intel with dispositions, go find other parties that can do the other parts of it. Michael Ken, that's on the screen, phenomenal transaction coordinator. I love this guy. Like literally, he makes sure he keeps me making sure my stuff is correct as well. And he's a transaction coordinator. We just talk about transaction coordinators as well. And Michael Kim is a phenomenal one. He does transaction coordinator all 50 states, self-performing, all that good stuff. And he actually helped us get through a significant amount of transactions before in the past. So he's another one. Between him and a few others, I would definitely trust my hands, like my assets or anything, like whether it's a multifamily, single family, condo, whatever that asset may look like. I would definitely trust everything with Michael. No offense about it. Question from Paul. Generally, do you guys like singing? Yes. Depending on the area, though. Don't send a portfolio then literally it's been vacant for about 18 years and expect us to be miracles. Like at that point, we might have to just knock everything out, do a new build or whatever that specifically may look like first, depending on the location. But yes, we do it all. We do it all, from single families to in regards to I'm thinking I think you're asking specifically like buying. So do we buy single family portfolios? Yes. Do we wholesale single family portfolios? Yes. So we do it all depending on the exit strategy and also the numbers work out what we're looking for. And we don't set really limitations of what we actually receive, like from laundromats, hotels. We've been working on negotiating on what was that, Phoenix, Arizona, right? Was that the hotel? Yeah, it was a motel.
Yeah, that was the hotel was in Phoenix. Yeah, just down from they're building a new VA center just down the road. But yeah, and then the laundromat in Little Rock. And actually, we're at a point in our business. For those of you guys who don't know, Chris and I have only been business partners for 6 months. Our business has only been active for 6 months, which is really neat to see like where we are now and what we're doing and what we've got planned for this year. And because it's just a true testament to everything that we're talking about now. Yeah, it's not theoretical. Everything that Chris and I are sharing is literally everything that we've done in just 6 months. Everything that we're talking about are things that we've learned over the last couple of years, but we've actually taken action on it 6 months. We're not coming here to you guys as, hey, theoretically, this would be a good idea. Or, hey, you should read this book. We're coming to you guys as fucking practitioners of what we're doing. We're here to be, no matter what, man, you cannot deny it. Just get whatever it is, man. Just focus on that one thing. You just, get so intentional with it, man, that you become unfucking deniable.
Absolutely.
Oh, another Alaska fan. Dude, this is Joe, bro. This is the guy I went and went and worked out with this morning. He's awesome.
Nice.
Him and I joined the
Nice.
military back in 2009. Good
Good
to see
old
you here, bro.
military.
Thank you for being here, man.
So guys, we really appreciate this more than you guys know. We really love jumping on these shows every single week faithfully. We have not yet missed one, and we'll always be here, whether it's a holiday or not. 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, faithfully. And also please DM us or private message us, whatever that look like different topics you want to talk about. We're here for it. We love to, try to provide value, whatever that specific may look like in your company. And if you guys are looking for transaction coordinator work, you can feel free to reach out as well. You can either DM me, myself, Jesse, whatever that specifically look like. We can hop on a Zoom call, whatever that look like, and go over that process the way we actually do it for our transaction coordinating. And also, if you are working with other transaction coordinators, even including myself, make sure you vet the transaction coordinators. Make sure they understand how to facilitate the process and get it from A to Z. And as I name dropped earlier, Michael Kim, Caleb Christopher, Love Francis, Chelsea Cummins, I can go down the list. There's a lot of individuals I would trust my paperwork with if I wasn't doing it myself, 100%. So please reach out. And also, guys, if you have any questions related to acquisitions, dispositions, if you need money, we do have loan products, as you guys know, as well, for whatever transaction may look like, as the fix and flips and cater lending as well. Go to our website, thirdmindrei.com. You'll find all our information there. And and again, just please reach out, whatever that may look like. And if we don't have the answer for you, we will make sure we find the answer for you or guide you in that right direction.
Odds are we know the who that does.
Absolutely. And one last thing before we part is I just want to make sure you guys fully understand. I know we talked about it last week and maybe the week before, but I really want you guys to fully understand that never take advice from someone. And I think this was Zach Hoyt or SuperMario. I can't remember exactly who said it. SuperMario, but
we've gotten a lot of good gems over the course of this show, bro.
And this is something I will never forget. Literally never take advice from someone who you're not willing to trade places with.
I literally just created content this week that had that specific quote in there, man. So powerful, bro.
Shit. It's very powerful. And guys, this happened last year when when SuperMario came on the show, and I never forgot that. I never forgot that. Will never forget that, because that's like on a hypothetical. That's like your family member who and again, I'm not trying to judge. I don't judge anyone in this world, but they're probably making like $30,000 a year, trying to tell you $1 million mindset statement, or if I give you advice on $1 million mindset statement. And how can you really take advice from that individual when they're making $30,000 a year and you want to make $30,000 a month? So you're talking to the wrong individuals. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Jesse, any final thoughts?
No, dude. I think that's a great way to end it, bro. I think that was awesome. Yeah. It just really I remember the first time he said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like you think it, but to hear how he articulated it and put it into perspective, because you're right. I mean, even when you get on Facebook, man, everybody and their dog will tell you there's 100 different ways to do something. Go back, vet that person, and then ask yourself, is this somebody I'd be willing to switch places with? And if the answer is yes, then that's probably the advice that I would start following. But yeah, phenomenal advice, bro.
Absolutely.
I love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, as always. Thank you guys very much for your time, your commitment. Thank you for coming in here and being intentional. Thank you for taking action and networking and doing all the things. We got some really awesome things that we're going to bring to you guys. We'll probably have one of our CPAs come in, maybe do like some tax advising, corporate structure, all that kind of fun stuff. So this is going to be a big year, guys. We really appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. You guys have a great day, and let us know how we can help you guys. We're here to make money. We want to make money with you guys.
Absolutely. Until next time, guys. See you.